Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my core and commentary Ashton, and this is the week in review. I'm gonna shoot straight with you guys. Um, Ashton and I were both kind of talking about this episode last night, and we're like, this might be a weird one because we just thought that this week kind of sucked. I thought SmackDown was awful last night. Easily one of the worst episodes I've seen in a while. And I know there have been times where I have been checked out. I will admit to that. But like actively watching, yeah, this is pretty much a snooze fest. Raw was okay. NXT, from what I caught up on, honestly, not bad. That might have been the best show this week. And I didn't think Evolve was too bad either. So I honestly think the two better shows were NXT and Evolve. But also, like, this is all leading up to a Saudi show, which Ash and I have never really given a shit about. And honestly, I'm finding the makings of the King and Queen of the Ring like tournament finals to be a bit underwhelming. I mean, at least Asuka's going in. I expect Jade to beat Roxanne because you guys know my big thing is Jade wins the tournament for the women, goes SummerSlam, wins the title, gets cashed in on by Naomi. That has been my prediction for a while now. For men, it's really just looking like it's going to potentially go to Cody, which what a fucking waste. So given that this has been kind of a dud week and we're not a recap show and we only talk about things that are interesting, I'd like us to get out of here within the hour. Like I really don't want us to be here long on a week that sucked. So Ashton, is there anything you want to talk about that really interested you this week, or at least in the relative sea of kind of meh that you were like, yeah, this is pretty good. I can shine a spotlight on this.
That's a really good question. I mean, in terms of just like let's not bury the lead, I do think that we should probably talk about some injuries that have been going on. The most
That's fair.
notable one is probably Liv Morgan. She is probably not going to be back this year.
Bro, you know what? Since you introduced it, I mean, how are your feelings about it? Because I know you before
Yeah,
anybody else, bro, to your credit, you got behind her heel run. Like, even I was a
yeah.
late adopter, but you were like, I'm feeling this. So I really feel for you because I know what a big Liv Morgan fan you are. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen at the very, very least that we won't see her again until after SummerSlam, most likely. And I mean, I think that where my heart really breaks for her is that she's going to miss out on Evolution because Evolution is just not something that this company seems to be very interested in actually like doing again. It feels like Evolution 2 is being set up to fail so that they can justify never running another one again. It's literally in the same town on the same day at the same time as a Beyonce concert. Um, like it really feels like they're trying to put on this evolution show to be like, fine, here we did it, and look, it failed financially. Do you really need us to do it again? So we might not get another one after this, and that's a bummer. But a bigger bummer, I think, is that Liv is going to miss it because she is a massive staple of the WWE's women's division right now. And for Liv to miss it, I think just sucks. I feel bad for her. Like I said, I do, my heart breaks for her. And I just hope that she's able to get cleared and get healthy as soon as effective and as soon and as effectively as possible. Definitely hoping that when she does come back, that they, while she's gone, get Roxanne and Dom closer to each other, so that when Liv comes back, and maybe even have Roxanne take Liv's place as Raquel's tag team partner, so that they can continue to defend the tag titles without Raquel having to be stripped of it. And then Liv comes back, and it's like Roxanne has taken over my life. What the fuck? Roxanne asks or acts all nice and sweet, like, no, no, no. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't lose the tag titles. You and Raquel can still be tag team champions or whatever. But then it turns out that, like, yeah, it's setting up a betrayal. It turns Liv face. I want babyface Liv Morgan back. I really loved her as a babyface, and she's really good at being a heel. But I just want to like her. I want to feel like I have sort of permission from the product to like Liv again. I'm liking her despite the way that she acts for the most part because I just love the performer. So that's my bit on Liv. If you have anything to add, feel free.
Bro, I think you put everything impeccably, much like your face itself, so no surprises there. All I will add is this is especially crushing for Liv, in my opinion, because now I don't know if you would agree with me on this. I feel like she is such a rare figure, even during the quote unquote evolution, when they had the four horsewomen and everything else. I can't remember the last time a woman was involved in so many storylines at once and just felt so emphasized on the product. Um, yeah, I think Liv is so fucking special for that, and to not really reap the harvest of all of her hard work with Evolution and with SummerSlam, that's
Yeah,
what breaks my heart for her. Everything
like
else, though, I think I just wanted to add that. I think you said
yeah,
everything perfectly. I don't
I
need to retread on a meh week in the world of wrestling. Like I said, I want
I
to get us out
just
of here quick.
I
But
also wanted to just add that it's especially tragic given that they were very clearly rearing up to give Liv a huge match at Evolution. Like she was literally talking shit with Nikki Bella. They were setting up a match that was going to involve the two of them. I think most of us kind of assumed that it would be a tag title match, Liv and Raquel versus the Bella Twins, but I just yeah, like they were not only is Liv gonna miss Evolution just in general, but she's very explicitly missing a match that would have been huge for
exactly, exactly. Um,
her.
you said injuries plural. What was the other injury that happened? Because
Oh,
wasn't there another one?
fucking Elijah tore his tricep.
That's also a shame because I feel like he was gearing up for a rematch with Trick potentially.
I believe he was, and it really just in general. I mean, he's been on the NXT product pretty consistently this month, I think. So I do, again another one, and then him. I mean, a torn tricep. That's a pretty significant injury. We might legitimately not see him again for the rest of, the calendar year of 2025. So that's just another huge shame. I think it's really sad.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I will also
Besides,
add, I don't think that anything's actually come out about this yet, so maybe she managed to avoid a serious injury, but if you watched SmackDown last night, Piper Niven did a senton on Charlotte while Charlotte was bridged in the figure eight, and Charlotte immediately grabbed at her knee, the same knee that's surgically repaired that she missed like a year for. So if some kind of news comes out that Charlotte's injured and is going to miss time now, I would not be surprised by that because that looked bad.
yeah, and while we're speaking of injuries, bro, as Foster pointed out, and I've gotten the image now on the Discord pulled up. I mean, Ava tweeted that Dar already has to relinquish
Noam
that image
Dar is
cut
another
her
one.
again.
That's right. Yeah. He's going to have to relinquish, and we're going to be getting fucking stacks against some mystery opponent that, given that everything's just been a dud lately, I wouldn't surprise me if it was Lexus King.
Yeah, yeah. That is a huge fucking shame about Dar because he just got back.
Yeah.
He looked fucking amazing. I wonder
Yep.
what the injury was. I hope he didn't re-aggravate the same injury. Like I can't imagine he came back too soon. He was gone so long. Does anybody know what the nature of the injury was? Because
I
I did not
haven't
hear
heard
anything.
anything about it specifically. I even saw that it was an undisclosed injury, was what it said in the tweet from Ava.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, bro, there's definitely an injury bug unfortunately going around. And yeah, I mean, God. And who else did Foster say? Because Foster's great. Oh, and El Phantasmo. But unfortunately, that's New Japan, which I know we don't cover often. But I mean, it still sucks when anybody gets injured. Like, so that sucks for him too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a bad week for injuries, unfortunately. But I think another big sort of notable thing that we can talk about, if you're prepared to move on from the injury discussion, I'd like to bring up something else.
Oh, absolutely, brother. What's on your mind?
Asuka is back from injury, actually, and she's already cruising. She is now officially going to be in the finals of Queen of the Ring. She qualified on Monday and beat Alexa Bliss on Friday to advance to the finals. She's already in.
Yeah, bro. I gotta tell you, for me, I guess so we can kind of get in the flow of talking about this tournament as a noteworthy thing, because again, there was a lot of bleh this week. Um, my prediction is Jade, and that's always been my reason. But if I was going my heart, I'd give the tournament to Asuka. I think
Yeah.
Asuka looks incredible since being back. I have really enjoyed her. She's got, I mean, like she said, the fire didn't die. She's moving with a purpose, and she's still got that energy to her. It's been a joy to watch her, bro. Yeah, you can tell that even though I feel like the Raw's women's division, in my opinion, was a bit above SmackDown's, uh, Asuka, I think, really puts them over the line. for me. I mean, she just really raises the division. She raises the game of it. And yeah, just great to see her back. I agree.
All right. Those are the two main things I wanted to talk about. So if you have anything that's really burning a hole in your mind that you really want to talk about, feel free.
Again, I was unmoved by most stuff this week. I do think that it is smart that on a given week like this, where we're both kind of meh on it, that we would talk about more newsworthy stuff like injuries, because we're not a clickbaity, shitty site. We already have plenty of, pseudo journalists for that, and emphasis on
Lord.
pseudo.
Yeah.
But I liked Cena's parody pipe bomb promo. I think that
That
was one of
was
the highlights
the
of this week.
one and only, I think, highlight of SmackDown last night. And even that felt weirdly soulless. I think on purpose though. Like I think it
Yeah.
was trying to be soulless because that's kind of seen this whole gimmick right now is like he just doesn't give a fuck about the people anymore. So he's not trying to cut these beautiful impassioned promos that he used to cut when he was a babyface, and he's out here just telling people to go fuck themselves in every which way he can think of. And I think one of those ways is this sort of mockery of the original Pipe Bomb promo where he used a lot of the same words as the original, a lot of the same phrases, and he kind of followed the same structure and just kind of twisted some of the specifics to suit the actual use here. I mean, it was very well done, sort of creatively. Just I guess I just wasn't expecting it, and I was popping during it. I was like, "Oh my god, he's really doing this!" Like I was losing my shit. But yeah, hindsight, yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like it's. I don't think. I think people are hyping it in such a way that they're almost comparing it in gravity to the original pipe bomb, and I don't think it's anywhere close.
That is absurd. But I will say, I mean, this promo got over.
Yes.
Um,
And
because
you could
Grand
even
Rap,
hear Cena said towards the tail end of it, the tides are starting to turn. The
yeah,
fans are starting to cheer for Cena over Punk.
yeah. I mean, SmackDown was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and the Grand Rapids crowd was absolutely pro Cena. Like, I think they popped for Punk initially when he came out, but
Yeah.
Cena had him. When he really started talking
By
and
the
getting in the groove of his.
balls.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, I, I've been a CM Punk hater, although I've lessened up on him a little bit with with his promos. I think really he's finding his voice again in WWE. I'm still the primo hater of Jimmy Uso, who we'll get to, I guess, a bit later, because this was also a pretty decent segment, I guess. The whole Solo and Jacob thing. But yeah, I mean, Cena taking Punk out, I popped. I'm like, fuck you, old bastard. When he kicked Punk in the balls, I'm like, yes. Because you could see the air driven out of Punk immediately, and then
Yeah.
not one but two championship belt shots to the fucking skull. I'm like, that's my last real champion right there. So yeah, great callback, because we know that the original pipe bomb, like, it was Truth and Cena in a table match. Truth won, as he won this match by all accounts, because Cena got himself DQ'd.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it just a interesting recreation, to say the least.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a decent promo. But again, as I kind of hinted at just a few moments ago, another decent thing was Jacob and Solo.
Yeah.
Dude, the positives I could say about this, again, that Solo's starting to turn a corner with me, because I think he realizes I don't have to be Roman Reigns. I can be something else. And I think what he's found is working for me. But Jacob is so fucking comfortable, man. He talked on that mic to me like he had already been with WWE for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, he is locked in. I'm telling you, man, it's an exciting era, because WWE is invested in Braun, especially if he is a Seth Rollins guy, because he's running with Seth Rollins and kayfabe, at least in this faction. I don't know how Seth Rollins feels about him backstage, but he's got to feel good enough for him to be a part of this fucking faction, right? And Jacob's talking confident. Oba's waiting in the wings. This is really going to be a competitive era for WWE as far as like who the top guy is. I'll be very curious when all three are in the main roster at the same time, because now we're just waiting for Oba to get called up. I'll be curious to like compare merch sales and shit, who's doing the best, like segment wise. Like, they're gonna have a lot of fucking star power, man. It's getting scary for WWE in a good way. But yeah, Jacob, man, and you've already said, I think you said this last week, to your credit, dude's already got 4 fucking catchphrases. And the all gas no breaks thing, the crowds consistently say it with him. I think Solo's a great foil for him as a heel. And what I loved about this promo, because I said it in the Discord, and then I want to hand it over to you to get your thoughts. I think it's genuinely elevating the US title, because Jacob brilliantly segues. He kind of turns, he's like, I know what the tension's really about. It's about the US title, and he redirects it, not in like some grand kind of ideas about family and leadership, but he's like, no, it's just a simple case of I have this and you're jealous, putting the emphasis back on the title. This dude's already acting like a veteran, and he hasn't even been in WWE a full fucking year. I don't
Well, I
think
think a
anyway.
lot of that has to do with the fact that he is a veteran of pro wrestling. He's just not been in WWE for most of his career.
And that is fair. That is fair. He is so good. He is on another level to me. But again, as I said, I wanted your thoughts too. What did you think
Well,
of
the
this
thing
segment, man?
is, I mean, WWE acknowledges how good he is too, because we've also got to keep in mind this dude skipped NXT. They brought him in and he
Yes.
just immediately shot not only on the TV, but into the most prominent storyline going on one of their TV shows in the Bloodline. Like, there's no hesitation about it. And like Jeff Cobb and the Tongans had the same treatment. They are just actual consummate pros. The WWE trusts them on TV. And that's not something we can say very often. I mean, fuck, man, we're still waiting for Hikuleo to show up. So it's not like everyone that's involved in the Bloodline story just gets thrown on TV. Solo is another example. He had an NXT run. He was an NXT North American champion at one point. So they obviously didn't fully trust him to just jump right in either. You have to have a certain amount of experience and be able to kind of, I guess, pass whatever tests WWE has to make sure that you're TV ready. And Jacob clearly passed him with flying colors because he immediately got thrown on TV once they signed him. And it wasn't immediate, but it was very soon after they signed him. And he's been killing it ever since. And now, yeah, you're absolutely right. I will say, though, I wish that I believed in the concept of elevating a title in such a way that lasts. Because I think it really just comes down to the man makes the title. And right now, the U.S. title happens to be on Jacob Fatu. And because of that, the U.S. title feels more important. But my fear, and something that I genuinely do think is going to happen, is Solo winning that title, and immediately it becomes less interesting to me with Solo having the title than Jacob having
Here is my hope with Solo winning the title because I agree with your prediction, right? Let me just lead with that I do agree with you, and just acknowledge what you said. My hope, because look, Jack Swagger was always kind of a shitter, but I think one of the worst things they did with him when he won the world title the first, well, really and only time, was that they tried to be like literally the moment he got the pin, his expression changed and he was more stoic and like, no more goofiness, no more eagle. You know, I'm a serious champion. Don't do that with Solo. Like, turn that volume of his comedy and his ego to fucking 20, because the dude's got a funny side. The dude has a line to my funny bone. It's kind of a tenuous line because the comedy is inconsistent, because I think there are still some segments like here where he tries to play it too straight. I want that snark to seep through in every segment, right? I want that to be a consistent part of his personality. He's a low-key goober, and I'm fucking here for it.
it.
As
Yes.
a champion with JC Mateo in his corner, that dude should feel fucking untouchable, and a guy like that who feels untouchable should be the most ridiculous man on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Well, and
That's what
that's
I
the
want.
reason, though, that I think that Solo's going to beat Jacob for the title is because I brought up Hikuleo earlier. Right now, it feels like the numbers are even because you've got Jacob with Jimmy as backup and then Solo with JC as backup. But I do think Hikuleo is going to be the deciding factor. I think Hikuleo is going to debut as the sort of third member of Solo's current bloodline and help him win the U.S. title. I think that that's going to be where Hikuleo finally does show up because there were legitimately reports that he might debut as soon as last week, and I don't mean like last night, but like the week before that. And I thought that he might, but he didn't. So I'm wondering if maybe they're just like they're ready to debut him, but they want to save it and debut him at the perfect time, which could very well be to have him be the guy that kind of breaks the tie in terms of the numbers and have him help Solo beat Jacob for the U.S. title.
Yeah. Again, I'm right there with you. I definitely think that's how it's gonna go. Um, the good news, what I'm really focused on is Jacob and his trajectory.
Yeah.
I think this dude is main eventer bound. I think he's future world championships bound, future Mania main events bound. And if this is just part of the journey, so be it. But yeah, I really thought he did his work in this segment. Like you said, you expect Hikuleo to help Solo win the title. We know that this segment ended with kind of a breakdown and a kind of a brawl, with Jimmy actually helping Jacob, but then Jacob had to help Jimmy because he got ganged up on. Classic Jimmy. And Jimmy and Jacob stood tall. And yeah, so that was that segment. And really, is there anything else worthwhile? Because we already talked about the tournaments. We know that Orton advanced over Sammy, which made me fucking deflate. Um, we know that Asuka advanced over Bliss, which that was cool. We know that Jade versus Roxanne is going to happen on Monday, so that's going to happen Monday night. And yeah, I think. Oh, and then another men's match is happening Monday, but which one is that again? Fuck. Cody and Jimmy.
Um,
Cody and Jay. Cody and Jay. Yeah,
yeah,
Cody and Jay on Monday. Yeah. So, and I personally expect Cody to win that, but that honestly could go either way. I just feel like it's going to be Cody. So yeah, I mean those are
yeah.
the
I think
tournaments.
I've kind of um, God, what's the word? I guess I can just say that I've kind of accepted that Cody's winning King of the Ring, and he's going to just use that to get a shot at Cena, even though he definitely doesn't need it because he literally pinned Cena in the tag match at Money in the Bank. It makes no sense to do this too, unless you just really, really want to drive the point home that Cody is the best at wrestling, except for when people cheat to beat him because he's not willing to stoop to that level.
I'll tell you what, bro. The only other interesting thing I could think of, and there's really not much to say here, is that Aleister Black and R-Truth could be getting into a feud potentially, or Aleister Black and Damian Priest, because before Truth had his match with Cena, he interrupted Aleister's match with Eric Prince. Um,
Elton.
Elton Prince. Yeah, Eric Prince is actually the leader of Blackwater. Oh, I am so sorry for that mix up. That is a disgusting mix up. Elton Prince. Um, and so yeah, Truth laid him out, and Aleister's kind of looking like, what the fuck? And look, as an Aleister fan, I love Truth. I'm happy that he's back with the company. I mean, real locker room leader, stuff like that. And I know that they're obviously cool too. But as a fan, I want to see Aleister compete. So I personally hated this. And Aleister in kayfabe hated it too because backstage he comes up and he's like, what was that about? Interrupting my match. And Truth even says like, it wasn't personal, but I'm gonna take it a bit personally. Like you chose to make a statement at my expense, at the expense of my match. And then Priest comes in and he's like, oh, cool. He's just going through a lot, whatever. And then Alice just kind of like chuckles, miffed, and he's like, Truth. And then Truth's like, Black. Or he might have even said Ron. And then Truth was like, Black. And, Priest and Truth had a moment. But what do you think about that, man? About the prospect of Alistair maybe even being heel? Because I don't think the crowd's booing Truth after they chanted that they wanted his job back. So I personally don't like it. I'm curious how you feel about it.
I would really just like to point out the hypocrisy of Damian Priest here and
Yeah,
the how lazy the writing is that Truth was actually friendly with him afterward. Like Truth wants to be taken seriously now, but let's not allow ourselves to forget that literally last year, right around this time, he was posing as a member of the Judgment Day, saying that he was in the Judgment Day, helping them sell shirts, making them money. And Damian Priest specifically is the one person that absolutely never accepted him, never was okay with it, never wanted Truth as a member of the Judgment Day. Never. He was the one motherfucker, like even Rhea was cool with it at a certain point, and Priest was the one curmudgeon that the entire time was just no Truth. You're not a member of the Judgment Day. You're never gonna be a member of the Judgment Day. And if I remember correctly, didn't Priest even beat him down several times?
Priest did join in on some beatdowns. Absolutely, he did. Yeah.
I swear, I just don't understand how we're doing this. Priest being the one that's sympathetic towards Truth, and Truth being like, oh yeah, we're cool, Priest. It's like, bro, do you literally just not remember what happened to you when you were being part of the Judgment Day?
Exactly. Like they've gotten better like over the years about their writing. We've seen plenty of dynamics where just because somebody turns face that, they don't become best friends with everybody in the locker room. I mean, Io's a perfect case of that because her and Bailey didn't just bury the hatchet because they both happened to be face at the same time, right? But yeah, moments like this, it's like, well, we know you guys have an abandoned history, so why is this being conveniently like retconned in a way? So yeah,
But
I
yeah,
don't
no,
know.
I mean, if it does end up being Alistair versus Priest, I think that actually elevates Alistair, honestly, because like Alistair right now feels like just a guy, like a mid carder, and Priest has been pretty firmly upper mid card main event for the last year or so. So Priest and Black, if they do end up feuding, it definitely feels like an elevation for Alistair to me at least.
I would completely agree with you. I mean, you're talking. I mean, you said it. He's been main event upper mid card. I mean, you're talking about a former world champion. Was just in the U.S. title picture very briefly. Had a feud with McIntyre before that, and God, I can't wait to see Drew McIntyre come back. Hopefully as a babyface as well. Um, and yes, I agree with you again completely. This will be an elevation for Alistair.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, man, I really because again the tournaments I think took up most of programming for Raw and SmackDown. Really, not much to say. What about Evolve? Because I think the most interesting thing on Evolve, to be fair, was we got to see Marcus Mathers debut.
Yeah, I like him, man. I see a lot of potential with him. There's a weird like almost like Adam Cole element to him where like he's not the best at anything in particular, but there's just something that makes him really likable to me. I really like the guy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you completely.
I feel similar
Um,
about who Marcus Mathers faced this week, which was Jordan Oasis. I really like his gimmick. It is really
I love
compelling.
his gimmick because you and I
Yeah.
talk to each other while Evolve's happening, and we kind of give our
Yeah.
thoughts to each other. So like we kind of know what the other one's thinking before we do a program like this. I love this Nomad gimmick they have him doing. I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
is
so
really
different.
good. I wish that they still made a big deal out of their signings because having a big moment where like even just Billy or not Billy anymore, Stevie came into the ring and like handed him a contract, kind of like what happened with Triple H and Mia Yim back in the day. I think that would be
Yeah,
fucking gorgeous. I would love that just because it's again like this dude always is talking about how like he's like living out of his car, hotel to hotel. Everything that he needs is in this bag. And it's like, well, here you go, man. You made it. Here's a fat paycheck for you to be able to buy or at least rent an actual joint around here, in the area and maybe unpack that bag and maybe get a few more possessions that you can't fit into a bag.
and you know what impresses me, especially given that this is under the WWE umbrella, is how tastefully they're doing this gimmick.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time in WWE that if they would have done this gimmick, and I don't think I'm being out of pocket, and please check me if you feel like I am, but I feel like if this was even like early PG era WWE when they had gimmicks like Crime Time and stuff, they would have done like vignettes with him living out of his car, and I think they would have like really satirized it or made it like over exaggerated like in a comedic way. And like I love how not somber, but how sincere
Yeah.
it's all presented. There's a real sincerity in the presentation that I really like.
Yep.
Um Marcus Mathers I think is great. You know what's funny to me is he looks just as like his build and his wrestling style, like he would be on an AEW collision type show.
Yes.
But you know what? Like I actually enjoy him for now. If he can talk, that's a huge plus. I still want to hear more of him like on the mic. But yeah, I thought this was fine. And then Keanu Carter after the match, because Marcus Mathers wins. He wins the match, but he shakes hands with Oasis, and then Keanu Carter lays them out.
Yep.
And he said it took two of you, WWE ID, prospects, to beat me and stop me from becoming the men's evolve world champion. So now he's going after all the ID prospects. I think that's an interesting story for him. How do you feel about that?
I love it, man. I think it's a great story. I think Keanu definitely, in terms of character, like in kayfabe, has every right to have beef with the fact that he didn't win that match. It took two guys teaming up on him, and of course they were sort of indie guys. The WWE ID program. They were because that's the thing with Evolve is it is a lot of ID talent, but there's also a lot of NXT homegrown talent that I guess they just decided isn't ready for television yet on there. And yeah, Keanu has been in the system for quite a while now, and he felt, I guess, God, there's a word that works here that I just can't think of, but he felt disrespected. Let's just put it that way, because two guys that don't even like each other teamed up to eliminate him. It's like, damn, like he's such a threat that it makes people resolve their differences to not have to fight him. So he will almost definitely be a future Evolve Men's World Champion. Um, and I would honestly love it if this angle with him going after the ID talent led to that. But I'm guessing it's going to kind of start out with him doing it in more of like a heelish way, and I think it would be really cool if it kind of over time gradually turned him face, because he goes from attacking the heel or the face ID talent to more attacking the heel ID talent, and over time, because he's going after the heel ID talent, eventually it would turn him into a face and lead to him going after specifically Jackson Drake, who is the guy that teamed up with his enemy to try and eliminate or to successfully to eliminate Carver. I think that there's a lot of upside there. I really like Carver too. He's really good. Like we've kind of discussed in the past that he's like Obafemi at home, and that that's it's probably unfair just because Oba is such a once in a lifetime type prospect. But I do like Keanu. I think he has a definite role that he can fill in WWE for sure.
Yeah, man. Like, I guess what I just love about this story, just very quickly, is this feels like it has a similar energy to like when Abyss was X Division champion, and they were like, "We're going to destroy all the X Division competitors" and stuff like that. Like when a guy targets a particular group of wrestler, normally that storyline can fall so like flat for me. But here, like the motivation makes sense, and Keanu is menacing enough and entertaining enough in the ring where I'm like, you know what, this might have legs. Like I'm already looking forward to Keanu Carver versus Marcus Mathers in a singles match.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
he could do,
So,
dude. I want to see a handicap match. I want to see Carver versus Mathers and Oasis at the same time, and I want Carver to win.
yes. Completely agree. I completely agree with you. Um, Yeah, and then we know that Lindsay Dorado's probably going to be Jackson Drake's first challenger because we know Sean Legacy lost a gauntlet against Swipe Right, which I always will, and Bryce Donovan, which really we need. I think the most noteworthy thing here, besides the fact that Sean Legacy lost the gauntlet and that Lindsay is going to be probably challenging Drake because he saved Sean at the end of the show with the LWO. Um, with fucking Joaquin, and then it's not Raul. What's
Cruz del Toro.
Cruz Delta? Okay, yeah, I wanted to say Cruz, but I'm like, wait, is that still Legado? But no, you're right. Okay, Cruz. Um, is that Bryce Donovan, man? They're really building this dude up. Now, granted, Legacy had already been through two matches before Donovan came in. Donovan was the last one, but like he won with a big boot to the face. He didn't even get his
And
black hole
that was the
slam.
first move that connected of the match. Like it was instant.
Exactly. Boot, three count. So, dude, low key, I even wonder because again, all factions have to break up. I wonder what the plan long term is for Bryce Donovan because I'd be lying if I said he wasn't on my mind as somebody that can beat Jackson Drake for the title.
Yeah,
Like if there was a story there and everything. So like I'm not taking my eyes off Bryce Donovan
yeah.
at all. But yeah, I found that very interesting. They're really like quietly building him up as like this menace of Vanity Project, but I still love the faction. I obviously love fucking Jackson Drake. I pretty much love everybody in the group with it, with Donovan being the guy that I'm most lukewarm on. But we'll have to see how that goes. And we know next week on Evolve we've got Wendy Chu versus Kylie Ray in a last woman standing match. We're gonna have two last women standing matches in the same week, bro, because that's next week on Evolve. And then next Friday, we know that Tiffany and Nia Jackson are in a last woman standing match. It's pretty wild.
WWE stealing ideas from itself?
Yeah, and funny thing is, out of those two last women standing matches, I only care about one competitor, and that's Wendy Chu. So yeah, not exactly great. And then Kendall Gray, who is Kendall Gray facing? Because I remember, Zara Zacher, which should be a really good match next week. That's probably the match I'm looking most forward to next week that we know about. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a lot of fucking fun. So yeah, that was essentially all the worthwhile stuff from Evolve, and then I guess that leaves NXT. And I guess I want to hand it to you first because we really emphasized the women this week. How did you feel about NXT this week?
Um, yeah, it was. I gotta admit, I was kind of fading in and out of sleep during NXT this week. It was a rough day for me Wednesday, and I just really when 8 p.m. rolled around, I really just wanted to curl up and sleep, and I tried my best to stay awake for most of it, but I failed most of it. Uh,
Yeah,
I know that we got our four big eliminator matches to set up a fatal four way for next week to determine the number one contender to JC. But I
Yes.
also know that the main event of the show was Blake Monroe signing her contract and getting into a confrontation with JC and the rest of Fatal Influence. So whoever wins this Fatal Four Way next week, I mean, they might be. I don't want to say an afterthought, but they might just kind of be a filler defense for JC because it really does seem like NXT is actively building towards Blake versus JC.
I agree. And the thing is, this is for an Evolution title match. So I just think Jordan Grace is winning personally. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
Jordan versus JC at Evolution. JC finds a way to
I
win. Probably.
I really don't know about that. I really don't know if they're gonna want to put Jordan in that spot. I don't know.
If not Jordan, I would love for Lash Legend to be the one. I'd love for it to be Lash.
Yeah,
Um,
I was actually leaning more towards Jada.
The only reason I don't think Jada Bro is look, they're not mutually exclusive, so you could have your thing and I could still have my thing. I just want to make that clear. But I do wonder if they're not because I don't know if they're trying to make Jada heel again when like I wish they would just make her face because the crowd loves her. But I say that because the way she won the match with Thea, like she didn't cheat per se, but she did outsmart her in kind of a heelish way. Like, oh, I'm tapping on your thigh, but I'm making sure the ref can't see me tap out.
Yeah.
But you feel me tap out, so you're gonna relent. And then I hit hypnotic.
Mhm.
So Jordan to me is the most babyface of the group. Again, I would personally love for it to be Lash, but I just think Jordan because she's a clear babyface.
Yeah.
JC's a clear heel. I do think Jada could talk her way into being a babyface because again, the crowd already fucking loves her. I wish NXT would embrace that. But yeah, I just think it's gonna be Jordan. Plus, I they may want Evolution to fail. I don't know, but they may
I've,
feel like this is giving something really nice to Jordan Grace. So my money's
yeah,
just on.
that's reasonable. Yeah, I didn't even think about the face heel dynamic, but that makes it that much more clear that Izzy Dame, even though she's going to be in the Fatal Four Way, she's absolutely not winning it. Like 0% chance.
Yeah, exactly. You and I are in complete agreement about that. And yeah, that pretty much dominated NXT. That and like you said, the
Yeah.
Blake Monroe contract signing, which I really have nothing to say about it. Like I thought it was good, but wake me up when Blake Monroe is actively competing and really like the centerpiece of NXT. The
Yes.
only other thing was we had the tag team match. Let me just list the names accordingly. Oh, and we also actually before that we had more Luca and Tony development. Honestly, I just want to get the show on the road with this story because I want somebody here to get called up or whatever the fuck. I want things to happen.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, Luca accidentally quote unquote hit Tony D, and so now it's like, is he going with Stacks? And this and that. And I think he will. I'm still wondering where the fuck Riz is because I'm actually missing her on the product,
Yeah.
but she'll be back eventually. But yeah, what I was getting ready to say, just to acknowledge that Inamura pinned Trick in the big 6-man tag.
Yeah, he did. And I also saw that backstage he was going to basically give his title shot that he earned by pinning Trick to Briggs.
What? Oh God,
Oh, you
that's
didn't catch that? Yeah, there was a backstage segment. I can't believe I caught this and you didn't. I was sleeping through half the show. Where,
yeah.
yeah, they were celebrating and Briggs was all excited for Inamura, and Inamura told Briggs directly, "Yeah, I want you to get the title shot against Trick." And he was all happy and hugged him and stuff. And yeah, there was a whole segment about it.
I'm wondering if Inamura is going to turn on Briggs in the future for some reason. Like I gave you everything because I've been predicting that him, Jensen, and Fallon are going to be like back together. Now I'm
That's a
wondering if they
great
just
point. Yeah, holy shit, that'd be wild.
yeah, and then Inamura would be justified. Like I honestly would be Team Inamura in that case. I'd be like, I pinned a fucking world champion and I gave you a world title. Which I mean, let's be fair. Look, if I'm being an asshole, that's on Inamura. I don't know why you would do that shit. I'm like, I pinned the champion. I'm gonna do it again. You want to give that title shot to me? Huh? No. Uh, you know, Inamura, I guess, is a better man than me. Actually, no, he's not. I'm more sensible. Fuck you. But yeah,
I
that's
love that you're arguing with yourself. Jesus Christ, man.
and I'm right. Which one of me? The one that's far more aggressive against myself. So
Ugh.
yeah, I'm hoping they just bring Inamura into the fold and then it just becomes 4 friends instead of 3 friends. But if they really cut Inamura the fuck out, I hope he turns heel on Briggs. I don't know if Foster even agrees with me on this. Foster, I know you can hear me right now. Um, And Inamura said he wants the NXT title. Yeah, good luck with that. It's held by God. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's all stupid. I'm not though, and I literally argued with myself over it, and I'm right. So, do you have anything else you want to say about NXT this week?
Um,
I'm just giggling over there.
I think we can move on.
All right, yeah. Well, then let's just talk about AEW so because again, like most stuff was King of the Ring.
Wait,
We
did you
already talked
watch
about new stuff.
AEW this week?
No, did you?
No.
Oh my God! Then did you do any extracurriculars this week?
No.
I didn't either. Let's open it up to questions.
It's Q&A time, everybody. It's real. We're doing
Uh,
it. Q&A. Ask your quote, Alex Foster. Why is Javon being a butt and trying to break up No Quarter Catch Crew? He's not trying to break them up. He's trying to help these people stand up for themselves and grant them agency when Charlie refuses to.
I've been very loving on your face lately. And that trend continues because I actually agree with you. I love NQCC, but Charlie needs to be a better leader and respect the autonomy of his members. He needs to trust. And again, this is why I'm saying we could do a brilliant fucking story here where we get deeper in the mind of Charlie. And like, maybe he felt like, oh, because of my dad and because of the wrestling traditions that I was raised in, I didn't have many friends. You guys were the first friends I really had. And I just don't want to lose my friends. Do a story with male vulnerability that's beautiful with a fucking man with a gruff exterior who we know inside is chill and is just terrified of letting his walls down, damn it. And you're not going to do it. That's why I'm better than pro wrestling. But yeah, no, I mean, Ashton's right. Like, Charlie is alienating his own people, and Ren's going to stick by him until something happens with her, until he pushes her away just to get ahead of it.
Ren wants to be the leader of No Quarter Catch Crew. I don't know if you knew that.
I mean, I thought she was just joking, but if she genuinely does, like, would anybody complain? I'm just saying I wouldn't.
I think Charlie definitely would.
And Charlie needs to go to therapy and be open about his feelings. In fact, you don't even need to go to therapy. You could just be open about your feelings. Fucking write it, writers. Shit. Anyway, next question. Oh my God, from my handsome son, Abel. Have you acknowledged your tribal chief today? No, and I also haven't said fuck you, Jimmy Uso today, so fuck you, Jimmy Uso, and I will acknowledge Jacob Fatu. Way to go, Jacob. I love you, Jacob. Do you want to acknowledge anyone, Ashton?
I am just really sad that our actual, real life, actual, genuine article, not fake ass tribal chief, Roman Reigns, the one with the fucking Ulafala that's supposed to be the thing that determines who the goddamn tribal chief is, has been missing in action. I miss Roman, goddammit. Where the fuck is he?
Still licking his wounds from being betrayed by Paul Heyman. So,
well, maybe he should focus less on that piece of shit and a little more on the things that actually matter, like, I don't know, his family.
Yes, and Foster, answer your question. Let me actually, you know what? I think I can quit Chris for the last of this because we're almost going to be done in like 15 minutes. No, I wouldn't like to thank Jimmy Uso. And in fact, because you asked that, I would like to double down and say once again, fuck you, Jimmy Uso. Love your wife though, Naomi. You've got this. You're amazing. And fuck you, Nia, for thwarting her cash in, even though it does keep me in the running for being right, which is amazing for my fucking face. Let's see. Caster Sales. Do you think Jay and Gunther will face each other again at SummerSlam? If they do, it's been okay. Let me just say this. I like Jey Uso, right? Unlike Jimmy, I actually have been pretty positive in defending Jey Uso. I've criticized him honestly, but I feel like if they do Jay Gunther again at SummerSlam, it has been a long time since I felt like WWE did a feud that was this beaten to death. I'm kind of ready
like
for them.
Baron Corbin, Seth Rollins.
How long ago was that?
Not long ago enough.
You know what? Fair. But, they're kind of doing it again with these two. And, like, I don't hate their matches.
It was 2020, actually. I think it was 5 years ago. Because I'm pretty sure that was when Seth and Becky both won their respective titles and got into horrible feuds all summer with Corbin and Lacey Evans, respectively, and the point that we even had a mixed tag match, an intergender tag match.
Yeah, and like, here's the thing, bro. In my personal opinion, because I think the only match of theirs I missed was their Saturday Night's main event match. Their Raw match was their best one. Like, I preferred it to their Mania match. I'm like, you don't need to do it again. I feel like you guys had the best match you're going to have, in my opinion. So Yeah, but then the alternative is it's either Orton going after Cena again, or just Cody. And really, I just want John Cena to kill pro wrestling. That's it. So like whoever wins to go after Cena, if it goes that way, if Jay doesn't win, I'm still rooting against you. And if Jay wins, I really don't care who wins the world title because I'm cool with you both. But like, I kind of wanted Sammy in that spot. So yeah, I'm really just kind of mad about the King of the Ring tournament. Now, Queen of the Ring, I mean, like fuck, Roxanne could advance, and I could root for her because I fucking love Roxanne. Asuka could win it all, and I love Asuka. Or Jade could win, and I mean, I could be right. So that's something. So I have more stake in Queen of the Ring, regardless of who wins, than I do in King of the Ring, and it just kind of left me deflated. Do you have any thoughts about this? Because again, the original question was, do you think Jay and Gunther will run it back at SummerSlam?
I really, really hope not. Um, we're getting Gunther Goldberg at Saturday Night's Main Event in July. I'm assuming that that match basically already being signed means that Gunther's not defending at Night of Champions. Is that right?
I believe that's correct, sir. Yes,
Are you cracking right now?
a little. But continue.
What happened?
I don't know. I'm just kind of having a good time. I'm just
Oh,
having fun, I guess.
okay.
So yeah,
Well,
it's innocent. It's perfectly innocent.
anyway, wow. Um, yeah, Gunther and Goldberg is going to happen Saturday Night's Main Event, July 12th. And I guess I don't really know. I don't have clarity on where they go after that. So I guess they could do Gunther Jay again. But God, man, you're right. I mean, here's the thing: the matches haven't been as bad as the Seth Corbin matches were. So it's not like it's this horrible thing, but man, it just feels like a lot of like overexposure, especially because like WrestleMania wasn't even their first match. They had like at least one at a Saturday Night's Main Event last year, and maybe even another singles match prior to WrestleMania. Even it's like I feel like we're closing in on 5 matches within like a 13 or 14, maybe 15 or 16 month span, and it's a lot. Like, and they're pay-per-view matches too, so it's not just regular matches. It just feels like a lot to me. It feels really excessive. I hope that that's not where we go though.
Bro, I wish I liked it just a bit more because this would be such an easy pick for feud of the year for how long it's been going. But it would feel disingenuous because there have been weak points in the feud to me,
I know who I
and
hope faces Gunther at SummerSlam, knowing that I now fully expect Cody to win King of the Ring and go after Cena. I really want Sami Zayn to be Gunther's SummerSlam opponent.
dude, 1000%. 1000%. I was gutted when Orton beat Sammy. I should have expected it because it's Orton and they always love the RKO out of nowhere. And really, plus, we should have known because we know what Sammy's going to do now. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was this Monday on Raw. Like
Cross.
after, or actually, no, because this Monday we still got to do semifinals, but it could be him versus Cross
Yeah.
because he's had those backstage segments with Cross. So now Sammy's probably going to feud with Cross. And I know there are already people picking Sammy to win the Rumble because it's in Saudi. And I'm like, fuck, I really don't want to miss Sammy's potential Rumble win, but like, fucking Saudi Arabia. God damn it.
Is there a reason that people think that Sammy's going to win some big thing in Saudi Arabia specifically? Like, Sammy
I
didn't
don't,
even
yeah.
go to Saudi shows the first few that they did. I think he's got like moral. It's either that he's got moral issues or they don't want him there. Like the government doesn't want him there because he speaks out against bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I don't know, but like if they're right, and just entertaining the possibility that they're right. Like I know you and I are big Sammy fans, and like I'd love to see him get a nice underdog story to the world title. And yeah, like it just sucks they could give him Rumble. And of course this would be a Rumble that we're just so morally opposed to.
Yeah.
Um, I would have just liked to have seen him go to SummerSlam. He still might. Again, you're right. If Cody wins, that frees up the world heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Sammy could get that spot. And
Well,
and
I
let
mean,
me
dude, to be
yeah.
fair, I think the world heavyweight title is all but guaranteed to be freed up regardless. I mean, unless Jay beats Cody and Orton back to back to get his title shot at SummerSlam, that would be kind of wild.
That is true. That is true, because if Cody wins, you're right. Cody Orton's the final, and we know both of them want Cena.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, you're right about that. You're right about that. I'll be very interested to see how they determine a number one contender for going through for SummerSlam. I would like a mini Raw tournament. And, I really don't want them to get SmackDown guys, but I feel like WWE usually, hey, if you want to cross over and challenge for the world title, we'll open it to SmackDown guys as well. But either way, I'd like a little mini tournament where Sammy fucking wins. I think that'd be dope.
Or a battle
Yeah.
royal. Give me a battle royal or like a gauntlet or something like that.
Yeah, Sammy does great in Gauntlet. But I mean, hell, Gauntlet was how he got the big match against Gunther, where he beat him for the IC title. So wouldn't it be fucking funny? Like, and here's the thing: I personally would expect him to beat Gunther and for Seth to cash in on him, like we've been kind of saying. Because, like, I don't know who first said it. You might have been the first one to say it. I get it. I got it. I killed a mosquito. Everyone,
Congratulations.
Yes.
There's an infinite amount of them.
I fucking love your. You know what else is infinite? My love for your fucking face. But yeah, I don't know who first said it, but the idea that Sammy would win the title and then Seth would cash in on him, and then that would be the big feud, probably for the remainder of the year, in my opinion. And that's where I could see why people would say Sammy winning the Rumble. Not even about Saudi. I think that logic is very tenuous. I think the logic is more Seth is kind of the new big bad, or at least they want him to be. He steals the moment from Sammy, who is the quintessential babyface, and Sammy fights like hell to get that definitive, straight up, all the marbles match up with Seth, of course, at a Mania.
Sammy Rollins Mania 40, what is it, 2 or 3?
42, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 42.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be nuts, bro. I'm personally here for that. So, yeah, I say Sammy goes to SummerSlam to face Gunther, beats him, but then Seth cashes in, and we get our story arc for the rest of the fucking year into like early, 2026. Yeah, that I'm here for that. So that was that question. Let me go a bit just so I don't lose track. Super Blue, that doesn't even seem like a real question. Why didn't Jay and Cody help LA Knight? Because he's a piece of shit. Already answered Foster.
No, I want to answer that question more sincerely. I honestly think that LA Knight didn't get help because they're trying to build him up as a main event guy. I think that LA Knight is winning a world title and maybe even the undisputed title, which would kill my soul. But I think that there's a very real possibility of that happening. And not only that, I think it's possible that it happens within the next like 6 months. Honestly, they are building him up big time.
Now I have a question. If I reject this hard enough, can it not happen?
I don't think that you can stop it unless, I mean, we've tried already with other things, and it doesn't really seem like any of us really have the power. So no.
So we're acknowledging that our faces, even collectively, have limits. I'm not mad at you, but just the general situation, I'm not okay with this. I just have to verbalize that. I'm not.
I fully understand and sympathize with you, my friend.
Yeah, that blows. Okay, so thank you for answering the question more sincerely, because I do think that's a fair answer. I just fuck LA Knight so hard. Let's see. Actually, no, this would be Super Blue again. Do you believe Luca is telling the truth and Riz signed the match for Steph? I think, again, I've been saying it. Tony D is the Joe Pesci of his own fucking mob movie. The Stunad doesn't fucking know it. He's gonna get fucking whacked, and I'm gonna laugh about it. Because, Tony, I love you, but like, have you not seen Casino? Have you not seen Goodfellas? Are you not part of are you with the culture or aren't you, Tony? What are we doing? What are we doing? Watch your back.
I think the performer who portrays Tony D'Angelo has unquestionably seen all those movies, but the character Tony D'Angelo maybe has a little catching up to do.
God, your face is immaculate and rigorous in its logic. I have to concur. All right, next question. Do you think I think again this is actually Foster. Oh my God. Actually no, Caster Sales. Do you think Seth may cash in on the WWE Championship when Cena loses to someone else? No, I think Seth is 100% going after that WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He was the first ever holder of it. I think he feels an emotional attachment to that title. And I think he's definitely going to go after it, especially if it means potentially hurting Sammy, because Sammy was the first one to really kind of disrespect him in Seth's mind with this new faction. So I think Cena's safe from Seth. They're both heels.
I have to interject here because I actually do disagree.
Interesting. Please lay out your argument.
Well, the question isn't whether Seth's going to cash in on Cena.
Yeah.
It's whether Seth's going to cash in on whoever beats Cena. And in my mind, there are only two people that could possibly do that. And it's CM Punk in Saudi Arabia and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, and I absolutely think that Seth will cash in on one of those guys. I also don't think that Seth wants to settle for being just the world champion. I think he wants it fucking all. He wants the big belt, the undisputed WWE championship. He wants the big one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let me say this. I acknowledge what you're saying. I agree with the internal logic of your argument. Personally, I just disagree about the event altogether. I think Cena, I actually believe on some level, similarly to how I thought Roman Reigns could beat Cody, and I do have that on record. That wasn't a private Discord production. The first Mania that Cody and Roman had, I said Roman was going to win because Cody had too much momentum. I feel like they really want to build that tension for Cena, making it all the way to fucking December. If they take it away now, because SummerSlam would be in August, that's still like a little over 4 months. Like I think on account of like what do you do with that remaining time? In my mind, no, I think he gets past him. I know he's got to lose it. I know he's got to lose it. I just wonder who he'll lose it to. It may even be to Cody in a last ditch effort that isn't SummerSlam. I don't fucking know, but I don't think he's dropping it at SummerSlam. I'll just put it that way. I don't think he's dropping it at SummerSlam.
Triple H's fucking self-mark ass will let Cena hold the title through the end of the year and then go on TV and be like, Cena, it's you and me at WrestleMania, you son of a bitch. Last time you get to put that title on the line and I'm taking it back.
Yeah, I mean, Triple H does have that heart condition, so I don't think he wants to get in the ring anymore. But if Cody distracted him and Triple H hit like one pedigree, he could maybe squash John Cena and win the title and then vacate it the next night.
Living out his own dreams from like 2007.
Yes, I did it. Hey, Cena, the nose knows. Fuck. God damn it.
Man. You know what though? Seth Rollins is Triple H's self-insert, so we could still get Seth even going after Cena, especially if Cena turns face. That's the easiest thing in the world.
Seth Rollins, the son Triple H is incapable of having.
His long begotten son.
he emphasis on long because Jesus Christ, it took forever. So Foster, fuck Triple H, by the way. I saw that picture of him and Stephanie with RFK. Go fuck yourselves. Foster, do you think the Wyatts win the tag belts next week? Probably, because they feel just as directionless as Aleister Black right now to me. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I really, really hate that the Street Profits run is getting cut short by all of a sudden now the Wyatt Six want for material possessions. It's ridiculous to me.
Bro, I completely agree, especially because look, I don't even dislike Wyatt Six. Again, I'm kind of checked out with them, and like I said, it just makes me miss Bray even more. Because even when Bray was in like, well, I'll even be blunt, even when he was in shitty storylines, I still always liked him. I don't think there was ever a period where I didn't like Bray. At worst, there were periods where I pitied Bray because I'm like, what the fuck is this company doing to you and your character? Um, Street Profits, on the other hand, I will say, like, that is where my sympathy lies because they're one of the most legit acts on fucking TV. They have gotten so good at the promo game. I will never stop apologizing to Angelo Dawkins because I felt like I slept on him hard when I was hyper fixated for a period on Montez Ford being a single star. Dawkins was like, hey, you with the half empty toothpaste legs, go fuck yourself because I'm going to work in the dungeon every fucking week. I'm going to get better in the ring and I'm going to raise my game on the mic. He did. I'm eating crow. I do it happily. They're a great fucking tag team act in an age where, again, tag team wrestling feels like in a bit of a fucking rut, to put it gently. They are really a standout fucking team, and you're going to give it to an act that you don't have any fucking plans for. There's no larger story at play here. So yeah, I feel for them. I really think they are winning the tag belts, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, wouldn't be the first fucking time, but yeah, I feel for the Street Profits too, man. I feel you on that, 100%.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you think Seth is on the path of turning heel after losing last night? Wait. Am I reading that question right?
You're reading it correctly, but it's absolutely a typo. Seth has been heel since Mania.
Yeah. So who did you mean to say, Super Blue?
Who lost last night that might be turning heel? Truth, maybe?
Truth won by DQ though.
Oh yeah, that's right. So who lost Who was a babyface that lost on SmackDown that might be on the brink of turning heel?
Um,
Alexa Bliss.
I mean, I don't know how. Oh, Sammy. I think he meant Sammy. No way
Oh,
is Sammy turning heel in
Sammy.
mind. I don't think Sammy's turning heel.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're doing this cross stuff for nothing.
Do we have to? Fuck.
I mean, I'd rather not, but I mean,
I mean, I don't want to do the John thing where I discount your logic and be like, no. I mean, I'm tempted to, for the record. Let's put that on
you know
record. But
what? You
like,
have every right in the world to in this instance.
no, your face is beautiful and it's making salient points. I don't want to be disrespectful. That's not fair. But no, it's not that what you're saying is disagreeable in that way. It's just, and I know that the fans want Cross to be pushed. I don't know fucking why. But
I do think that the Sammy promos are starting to get a little bit repetitive, at least for me.
yeah.
With him coming out talking about how he's going to do it the right way every time, it's like, all right, buddy, we get it, but like, when are you going to actually do it? Like,
Yeah.
doing it the right way only actually can happen if you actually do it in the first place, and you seem kayfabe wise pretty fucking incapable of doing it. So maybe Cross is onto something here.
I need you and Sean to coach people to suck less. Because what his comment about Jade last night, like, Jade baby, like, stop looking at the camera. God, I need you and Sean to be in the company to tell people to suck less, because I will pay for that. I will pay for that fucking shit. Yeah, I'm just picturing it like, all right, Sammy, maybe heighten the vocabulary so you can diversify the promo a little bit. We get it, bud. You know, maybe have a different message. I see. God, let me get my thoughts together. Give me a second here. Okay, let me take a different tact here. Let me act like he is going to turn heel and begin from that premise, right? I'm disheartened for two reasons. One, I do think he's a genuinely great babyface, and the crowd is behind him, and I think they want to see him do it. And it would be, in my mind, a waste of a really good babyface when I think we need really good babyfaces, because Cody might have regained some steam by losing to Cena and like all this stuff. They'll turn on him again. Like, I don't think Cody has the staying power as a babyface that Sammy does, because Sammy is far more underdog than fucking Cody is. My second gripe with it, Sammy already did the fucking best heel work, in my opinion, that he's going to do when he was Intercontinental Champion. And, like, he had the fucking conspiracy gimmick, and he won that ladder match with fucking handcuffs. Like, that was the best heel work. And I enjoyed that even more than when him and Kevin reunited and made Shane McMahon make really weird fucking noises. And you know I live for that fucking segment. But his heel work in totality far exceeded the one heel run he had with Kevin. So I just don't think there's any room for him to top himself, is my point. So really this all comes in my feelings. Again, I can't dispute the logic. He has been interacting with Cross a lot. He has been losing a lot. And I feel like when baby faces lose, when there's a heel trying to get them to do bad things, being the devil on their shoulder, it gains more power the more setbacks they suffer. I just feel like from a creative standpoint and a personal standpoint, I don't want to see it. And that's really what it comes down to for me. So.
I need a memory reminder. Did Alan ever turn heel after all of the consulting from Cross telling him to?
No, but you have to keep in mind, bro, that's a tad different, only because AJ Styles came off of a far fresher heel turn than Sammy. Like, I feel like Sammy actually has some distance from his last heel turn. AJ, I feel like, was still relatively fresh.
Okay, who
Yeah,
else? Who else has Cross tried to get to turn heel? Miz.
Xavier Woods was another one. Because
Oh,
remember the whole New Day thing.
fuck yeah. Shit.
Fuck me. He's going to do it. Damn it, Super Blue, for making me think about things that are happening. No, I shouldn't blame you. This was a genuinely good question, and it got me to think. But fuck. Fuck. All right. Let's move on to our next question, because I think we gave that a lot of thought, and we ended up with really sad conclusions.
Yeah, I think we should probably correct ourselves actually, because the guy that got beat up by R-Truth was Kit Wilson. Elton Prince is the one that's injured.
Oh, okay. So apologies again. First I called Elton Prince Eric Prince, and then yeah, it wasn't even the right fucking person. So yeah, sorry, Kit. Yes, boy. And we do wish the other half a pretty deadly, a speedy recovery, whatever their injury is. Injuries fucking suck. So let's get to an actual
Do
question.
you think Roman will beat Cena and get cashed in on? I
Who asked
think
that? Yeah.
it was Super Blue. I think it's actually going to be the other way around. I think Seth is going to win the WWE Undisputed Championship via cash in somehow, whether it's against Cena or someone who beats Cena. And then I think Roman shows up to the biggest pop of the fucking world.
There you go. There you go.
Because we got to remember, the last thing that happened to Roman was Seth betrayed him with Heyman again.
Yes. Yes.
Roman's going to be coming back for Seth Rollins' blood. And I
Yeah.
cannot wait for that fucking feud.
Do you and really I've already said I think Cena's keeping it. He might even lose it at a December event. I don't know which one. I think they really want to tease that Cena's gonna do it and then somebody comes in for the save. Probably Cody, but we'll fucking see. Let's see. I mean, this is the best way. I wish Bo had done something. I agree, Foster. But as far as actual questions, Super Blue again. Super Blue actually has the final two questions, at least for now. Do you think Julia will win the U.S. title next week? I personally think so. I don't think Zelina was ever meant to be a long-term champion, and you just said yes, so that's a yes from you. How do you feel about Asuka's new finisher? It's ass. I mean, what is there really to say?
It's
Yeah,
literally ass.
it's literally ass. I mean, I've never really said I feel bad for Raquel Rodriguez, but that one hip attack she took, man, goddamn, no wonder Alexa whiffed on it or like noped out of it because she saw what happened to Raquel and she's like, I don't want that. Fuck. So kudos to Raquel.
I
at
do
least
think it's interesting and maybe even a bad thing though. Like there might be some negative ramifications coming out of this. Just because it looks so similar to Hypnotic, Jada's finisher.
Yeah, and I feel like when Jada gets called up, which could happen anytime, really, she's such a good fucking talker.
Yeah.
I know Asuka's the veteran, so you kind of want to show her deference, but
exactly, yeah. But
what
like,
is Jada supposed to do?
yeah, like Asuka kind of ripped Jada. Well, not really, because Asuka, as Kana, was using the hip attack finisher all the way back in Japan before NXT. But like in terms of WWE, strictly in WWE, Jada has been using Hypnotic as a finisher for a lot longer than Asuka has been using. What does she call it again? Asuka Impact? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think Asuka Impact or Empress Impact.
Empress Impact. That's what it is. Yeah, Empress Impact. Yup. And that's weird to me. I also it's just weird that Asuka, who is somebody that has historically been taken very seriously in WWE and as a big time threat, is now doing weird Ryusuke Taguchi shit.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Sorry, the way you said that popped me inside and outside, clearly. I will also say, bro, and like I'm not trying to disrespect Asuka or like anything like that. I do think it's kind of fucked because Asuka is far more broad in the ring than Jada is. Like Jada's far more limited than Asuka in ring.
Well, yeah.
Like
I mean, Asuka is like a 20-year, maybe not 20, but like a 15 to 20-year vet. She might even be 20, honestly. Yeah, I think she actually is a 20-year vet. And she has so many other moves that she could use as a finisher. Why this? Why now? Those are my questions. Why this move and why bring it back as your finisher now of all times?
Yeah, you could do literally anything and make it believable. Poor Jada. Like I feel like if Jada can't do Hypnotic, depending on again when she gets called up and whatever happens, which we might be overthinking it, right? It might just be like, okay, here it is. But like I feel like she would have to do some kind of power finisher, like either like a TKO or a Samoan driver or something.
Something where you lift them up and drop them hard.
Yeah, but like
I don't know. Maybe they can coexist. I mean, I think they're similar, but I do think they're different enough that they might be able to coexist. Because the Asuka Impact is like a flying hip attack, whereas with Hypnotic, it's like she steps into it. Like it's
WWE makes them a tag team, and their tag team finisher is them just doing their individual finishers simultaneously. So it's like ass and stereo.
The tag team name is Hip Pact.
Oh, pop.
I'm popping you tonight. I love it.
Oh, it's great. Really, we haven't gotten any new questions since then. So you know what? And it's almost midnight, and I kind of want to get out of here. So yeah, let's just close the gate. Let's move on to high spots and low shots. Yeah, because I mean, you guys have shown you have no problem asking questions between questions, and that's fine. But since that just didn't happen, I'm like, okay. So my low shot this week, God, I want to bully Jimmy Uso, but I also want to be logical. Fuck. You know what? My low shot this week is going to be Solo Sikoa. Um, he fucking he could have just stepped to Jacob. They could have had the match, and maybe they could have squashed beef. You know, it's always said like brothers fight, they get it out of their system, and then they move on to the next thing. No, Solo was really like, man, fuck you. Like I'm gonna try and jump your ass, and he's lost a really valuable asset in his bloodline. So it was a rough week for Solo, I think, like in the long term as far as his family goes. So who's your low shot?
I am gonna make my low shot Chelsea Green because she got victimized by Charlotte Flair.
Given that I was so male in wrestling this week, high spot, high spot. You know what? My okay, I'm gonna do it like this because I really want to do this, but I'll make it an honorary. My honorary high spot is Jackson Drake because he has surrounded himself with people that protect him because Bryce Donovan stopped Shawn Legacy from getting a title shot.
Dude, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
So if I'm Jackson Drake, I'm fucking thrilled because my faction stands on business.
Yeah.
I've surrounded myself with people that can ensure I have a long title reign. I just cannot fuck this up. Do not fuck it up, Drake. As far as my actual high spot, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really struggling. I think I should make it my face because I'm perfect, and I just think that's a really easy pick. But we don't really do that, right? So what do I do?
John Cena.
John Cena, you think? I mean, he's not my face, but I mean, you're right. Yeah, I think I'll go John Cena. He had a really interesting promo, and yeah, he was funny. I mean, he kicked Punk in the balls. I mean, that was a high spot for me. So yeah, I'll just go with the last real champion for putting a smile on my face. And who's your high spot?
I'm also going to have an honorary high spot this week, and that is going to be Blake Monroe because she officially signed her NXT contract. And by merely existing as her fabulous self, drew the attention and ire of NXT's grandest prize holder in the women's division in JC Jane, the women's world champion in NXT. Uh, I mean, you're already on her radar and you've been here for like 2 weeks. That's pretty goddamn impressive. So Blake is my honorary high spot, but my actual high spot has got to go to the RKO. Randy Orton beating Sami Zayn, punching his ticket to the finals. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make Randall an honorary high spot too because I want to go all the way with Asuka. Asuka is my actual high spot because she showed up on Monday, qualified for Queen of the Ring, and then on Friday, she punched her ticket to the finals too. So she's having an even better week than Orton because before this week started, Asuka had been out of action for like over a year, and then she shows up, and by the end of the week, she's in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. That is insane. So Asuka is my actual high spot.
Bro, the way you actually built genuine suspense in a high spot, king shit. All right, that's that.
Shit.
Wait, say that again.
I said unintentional shit.
Oh, yes. All right. Everybody be sure to leave a like as you file out. This has been the Weekend Review. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my core and contribution. Guys, again, be sure to leave a like as you file out, subscribe to the bell icon so you don't miss any TWitWoW notifications. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Blue Sky and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the NWC. And we will see you guys again Tuesday at 5 as we empty the Marigold queue, as we do more match reactions. It's going to be a fun fucking time. Marigold really stepping its game up now that Mayu is in their ranks. And yeah, just that's that. And guys, keep in mind, I should start plugging this too. We've got Q&A next Thursday.
Yes.
So if you have not gotten your questions in, especially with everything happening right now, I know you guys love asking political questions, and after fucking tonight, Jesus Christ, get your questions in because next Thursday we're gonna have a lot to talk about in terms of pop culture. I feel like I've listened to quite a bit of music this quarter, and we've been watching like good shows and anime and shit, world events. Everything's on fire. Cool. We've got a lot to talk about. So. So yeah, get those questions in. It's gonna be a fun time. Yeah, so that's next Thursday. And what are we thinking actually for Thursday action? Do we just want to do what we do? We do start them at an hour and then that's Q&A. Like
that's our huge.
It is our Huge, unlike our U, which ended, and Joe Goldberg is serving a life sentence, as is Penn Badgley in our fucking
Yeah.
hearts, you fucking king.
I
Um,
guess we didn't love him back after all.
wow. Pop again. All right. I am Poppin' John. I don't serve pizza like a piece
No,
of
you're
shit.
Papa John. You're the superior Papa John.
That's so true. Oh my god, I did it. All right. Well, we'll see you guys Tuesday at 5 for Monty Gold live reactions. And yeah, until then, be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in and peace out.